Good afternoon to all of you. I'm extremely sorry if we are beginning the program much behind schedule, but we were waiting for some people. And because of the heat, scorching heat, and because of the timing, a lot of them have not been able to turn up. Anyway, we'll begin the program. I'll invite Professor Hasnain to come on stage. He doesn't need any introduction. I'll introduce him formally, but we'll give him a clap. Come over. I'll invite Ajit Lal, Mr. Ajit Lal. He's the chief guest of today's function. I'll invite Ijaz Maqbool. All of you, please come and sit here. Mr. Raza Elahi, come over.
We don't know which is whose. We presume we are on
This
the right.
is yours.
This is mine. Okay.
This is Ajit. This is Ijaz. So we formally begin the function, and as you know, the title of the book is Psychology of Motherhood, a case study of 6 enlightened and successful mothers around the globe. A hearty welcome to respected members of on the dais, all participants and children. I don't see any child here, but anyway, they were supposed to be coming. For some reason, they have not been able to come. All volunteers who have worked hard to ensure the success of the book release function. Ladies and gentlemen, we are indeed honored and welcome Professor Syed Hasnain, Padma Shri, who has given his consent to preside over the book release function. Professor Hasnain needs no introduction. He is the recipient of the highest civilian award from Germany, equivalent to Bharat Ratna. Clap. And is the third person to receive an honorary degree from the Queen's University, UK, apart from two celebrities, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam and Professor Amartya Sen. A former invited professor at IIT Delhi, he is currently a National Science Chair at IIT Delhi. He earlier served as Vice Chancellor, Central University of Hyderabad, for 5 years, and Jamia Hamdard University, and as the first director, Center for DNA Fingerprinting and Diagnostics, Hyderabad. A former member of the Science Advisory Council to the Prime Minister of India, he serves and has served on the Research Board / Governing Council of institutions such as the All India Institute of Medical Sciences, New Delhi, Postgraduate Institute of Medical Education and Research, PGI, Chandigarh, Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore, University Grants Commission, JNU, AMU, Institute of Liver and Biliary Sciences, and several others. Let us give Professor Hasnain a big round of applause. I think we can all stand up and give a clap. Please stand up, all of you. Please be seated. The guest of honor of today's function are Mr. Ijaz Maqbool, Senior Advocate, Supreme Court of India. I'm sorry, chief guest of today's function is Mr. Ajit Lal, former Director General Police, Himachal Pradesh. And I should tell you that Ajit was one of the youngest person who joined the Indian Police Service.
He is still young, sir.
He's still young and he will always remain young. I know that. Yeah. I also welcome our guests of honor of today's function, Mr. Ijaz Maqbool, Senior Advocate, Supreme Court of India. Ijaz also doesn't need any introduction. Mr. Prakash Singh Kursela, writer of the foreword of the book. Prakash, I was expecting that he will come, but he's not coming for some reason. So he's otherwise a very dear friend of mine, and he was in St. Xavier's. And I consider him as my guru as far as English is concerned. And another, Ajit, is also a person who has taught me a lot of things as far as English language is concerned. Clap to him. Then we have Mr. Raza Elahi. He is Deputy News Editor, Economic Times, and he has been associated with several other news agencies. And when his profile is presented, you will come to know he has served several other agencies. Then, for reasons unavoidable, we could not have any representative from the publishing house, Sakal Publications, Pune, Maharashtra. We will nevertheless have a successful book launch program to be presided over by Professor Hasnan and under the leadership of our chief guest, Ajit Lal. Thanks again to all of you for making it to the book launch function. Now I would request Arham and Sana to kindly present the profile of the people sitting on the dais.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is with great respect and pride that I introduce our chief guest for the evening, Mr. Ajit Lal.
Thank you.
Mr. Lal is a distinguished officer of the Indian Police Service who has devoted over 4 decades to serving the nation. A graduate of Delhi University, he joined the IPS in 1974 and went on to play a pivotal role in India's internal security. His service in the Intelligence Bureau spanned over 30 years, where he rose to the second highest position. He later served as the chairman of the Joint Intelligence Committee, a role equivalent to the rank of the Secretary in the Government of India. Mr. Lal has handled some of the most sensitive and critical national security issues, particularly in Jammu and Kashmir, Punjab, and the Northeast. His international experience includes his posting at the Embassy of India in Washington, D.C., which adds to the global perspective he brings to the security and intelligence. In recognition of his outstanding service, he has been awarded the Police Medal for Meritorious Service and the President's Police Medal for Distinguished Service. Truly a rare and a well-deserved honor. We are deeply privileged to have him with us today. Sir, may I now request you to kindly come forward and address the gathering?
इनको presentation के लिए before that I think we should have the book release. ये लो पीछे से बोल दे
आप आगे कोई और बुक है तो दे दो। Thank you.
Should I take the floor?
Yes, sir.
Sorry, dear.
Professor Hasnan, Nadeem, gentlemen, honored guests, I am grateful for the invitation to sit at the high table. I congratulate Nadeem on writing this wonderful book and making the passage from economics to psychology. Psychology is a fascinating subject, as there is nothing more complex than the human mind. Freud's magnum opus, The Interpretation of Dreams, was preceded by an epigraph from Virgil's Aeneid. If I cannot bend the higher powers, I'll move the infernal ones. To unravel the human mind is the last frontier of human endeavor. In this endeavor, Nadeem follows in his eminent father's footsteps. My own friendship with Nadeem goes back to our happy days at St. Xavier's High School, Patna. We went to different colleges, but I bumped into him again at A.N. Sinha Institute at Patna, where he was working on some arcane economics subject. Arcane to me, but yes, it made a lot of sense to him. We have thereafter been in touch, and I wish him the very best in the new frontier that now beckons him, and hope that this first work of his on the subject is like a homecoming to him and establishes him in the beguiling world of psychoanalysis. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Congratulations for a lovely speech.
Next, we have Mr. Ejaz Maqbool. It is with great pride and it's a personal sense of joy that I introduce our next guest of honor, Mr. Ejaz Maqbool. As an advocate myself, it is always a special moment to welcome someone from our own fraternity, someone whose legal journey in the field of law has been truly exemplary. Mr. Maqbool is a seasoned advocate who has been practicing in the Supreme Court of India for over 4 decades, an alumnus of Aligarh Muslim University, where he served as the Vice President of the Students' Union. He began his journey in law with passion and purpose. In 1989, he qualified as an advocate on record, and since then, he has made an immense contribution to the Indian legal system. His name appears in more than 400 reported Supreme Court judgments, many of them in the realm of public interest litigation, where he has stood firmly for the rights of the marginalized and voiceless. His contribution extends beyond the courtroom. Mr. Maqbool is also a man of letters. He is the editor of the unique and widely appreciated book, Law, Humor, and Urdu Poetry, which beautifully merges intellect, wit, and cultural richness. It is both a personal and a professional honor to welcome him here today. Mr. Sir, may I now invite you to the dais and you share your thoughts with us.
Professor Hasnan, whom I call him Hashmi Bhai, I had the privilege of attending his marriage, maybe I don't remember how many years back. Mr. Lal, Mr. Raza, and the bridegroom of today's evening, Mr. Nadeem, who has written this lovely book. Both Nadeem Bhai and Mr. Lal, we all share the same school. We have studied in St. Xavier's, Patna, but I am much junior to them. I cannot match their seniority.
We can't match your wit.
And I do not know why Nadeem Bhai has invited me to this function on such a sacrosanct topic of motherhood. In fact, I use this couplet for my profession, which says that कि खुदा महफूज रखे आपको तीनों बलाओं से, वकीलों से, हकीमों से, हसीनों की निगाहों से. I wish to start my small introduction to his book by quoting 5 couplets from our contemporary Urdu poet Munawwar Rana, whose main theme used to be motherhood in his poetry. माँ की गोद ही जन्नत का पहला दरवाज़ा है, ये वो मकाम है जहाँ से हर रास्ता गुज़रता है. किसी के पास माँ है तो उसे कुछ नहीं चाहिए, माँ के बिना दुनिया में हर चीज़ अधूरी लगती है. माँ की ममता कोई मोल नहीं होता, उसकी एक मुस्कान ही असर डाल देती है नसीब पर. मिट्टी की खुशबू माँ की यादों से मिलती है, जहाँ माँ होती है वही तो असली ज़मीन होती है. चांद चाहे जितना रोशन हो, माँ की मुस्कुराहट का मुकाबला नहीं कर सकता. I congratulate Mr. Nadeem Mohsin for such a unique topic he has chosen and has introduced 6 enlightened mothers from various walks of life, namely Miss Alka, who is from Lucknow. The author has taken several aspects of her multifaceted life, but the most inspiring is her poem about life, which is very touching in the book. All of you will read the book. And आज खोया हुआ एक दोस्त बहुत याद आया, आज गुज़रा हुआ कुछ वक्त बहुत याद आया, मेरी आँखों के हर एक अक्स पे रोने वाला, आज जब आँख ये रोई तो बहुत याद आया, जो मेरा दर्द को सीने में छुपा लेता था, आज जब दर्द हुआ मुझको बहुत याद आया, जो मेरी आँख में काजल की तरह रहता था, आज काजल जो लगाया तो बहुत याद आया. This is what has been written by Alka. Miss Anupam Kataria, the other lady mentioned in his book, is another mother covered in this book, and I'm a poetry lover, and therefore I really like this written by her. The beauty of the morning is not in the freshness of atmosphere, it is in the freshness of our thoughts and feelings and how we wish to start our day. The third great mother who is covered in this book is Miss Christine de Rosario. Her father was a Bengali Christian and her mother was an Anglo-Indian. The most startling part of her life was that her husband and he had bad habit of gambling, and he took loans for the purpose of gambling, which was very embarrassing for her as well as her mother-in-law. She overcame this difficulty with manly skills. The fourth mother covered in this book is Miss Jaspreet Kaur. Let me quote what the author has written about her. The varied life experiences Jaspreet has faced has helped her not only in the process of self-actualization, but also in assessing her roles as a globetrotter, an immigrant adjusting in a foreign land, working with a professional and acquiring learning from them on the art of dealing with the patients in hospital, in communities of immigrants from Pakistan, Vietnam, and from other socio-economic background, cultures, and traditions. The fifth mother in this book is Miss Naomi Hiroshi, is from Japan. About her, the 10 rules mentioned is very interesting. The 10 rules of Ikigai. Stay active, don't retire. Mr. Ajit Lal present with him, he is retired, but he has not become tired. Many of the world's longest lived people work well into their 80s and 90s or don't retire. Take it slow. Don't fill your stomach. Surround yourself with good friends. Get in shape for your next birthday. Smile. Reconnect with nature. Give thanks. I also liked Miss Mayumi Hiroshi likes, life is not qualified by fluent English, branded clothes or lifestyle. It is measured by number of individuals who smile when they think about you. The last and the sixth mother is covered in his book is Miss Saima Hussain Anis. I'm not telling you anything about her because I don't want, because lawyers have a very bad habit. When they give the mic, they don't leave the mic at all. But, and that they are known for their speeches. But let me tell you one very interesting thing. I've also written a book on law, humor, and Urdu poetry. But once a book was being released, and the price of the book was rupees 310. So the people asked the publisher, what is this? Why is this strange price of 310 rupees? He said, because the author also deserves something. And let me tell you, behind every great man, there has to be a woman. And Bhabhi is sitting here, Mrs. Nadeem. She must have been a great inspiration for this man who's now a very accomplished author. और मैं अपनी बात ख़त्म करना चाहता हूँ उनके लिए एक कपलेट मेरी किताब से मैं शेयर करता हूँ और भाभी के लिए एक कपलेट ख़ास है कि बाइज़्ज़त रिहा हो गई वो कत्ल के इल्ज़ाम से, बाइज़्ज़त रिहा हो गई वो कत्ल के इल्ज़ाम से क्योंकि अदालत ने निगाहों को हथियार नहीं माना. थैंक यू.
Thank you, sir, for your beautiful words. Next up, we have our guest of honor, Mr. Mohammad Aftab. Mohammad Aftab is the country director at UNICEF Muscat and Jordan, a true champion of social justice and community empowerment. Mr. Aftab comes from a heartland of Bihar, from a small village in Madhubani, known for its rich art and culture. But what truly sets him apart is his tireless work in the field of child protection, anti-trafficking, and social welfare. He began his journey as a grassroots worker with a Delhi-based NGO, and through sheer dedication and humility, rose to national and international roles with great responsibility. As the National Program Officer for Child Protection at Save the India, he has traveled extensively across the country, often staying in modest villages, homes, and never chasing comfort, but always committed to his mission. Recognizing this passion, UNICEF appointed him as the country director for both Muscat and Jordan, a role which he still continues to fulfill with same sincerity. He is not just a development professional, he is a mentor, a community mobilizer, and an extraordinary trainer who connects with people from all walks of life. Unfortunately, Mr. Aftab could not make here today. Now I'll invite Sana to introduce you all to our next guest of honors.
Aftab had an urgent meeting in Kuwait, about which he was informed only a couple of days back. He had planned to come over, but because of that important meeting, he had to go there.
Good afternoon, everyone. So, our next guest of honor is Raza Elahi. He's a journalist, author, and poet. In a career spanning 3 decades in the media industry, Raza Elahi has worked in various capacities with leading national and international newspapers, including Khalij Times, The Economic Times, The Pioneer, and The Financial Express, etc. Working as a senior desk editor in India's leading business daily, The Economic Times, Delhi, Raza is also a known face among the media students, having written 2 books for them, How to Become a Good Journalist and The Nuances of Journalistic Writings. An avid reader and having interest in medieval history and Urdu, Raza has authored The Fascinating Tales of Urdu and Its Courtyard, Delhi, which is liked by readers across various sections and age groups. His Urdu poetry is published both in Nastaliq and Roman scripts in 2 of his collections, Jazba Mohabbat and Aaye Dil Se Shairana Ho Jaye. May I present you Raza Elahi.
Assalamu alaikum and a very good afternoon to all of you. सबसे पहले तो नदीम मोहसिन साहब को उनकी नई किताब के शाया होने पे दिली मुबारकबाद. जहाँ तक हमने इस किताब की मैन्युस्क्रिप्ट को पढ़ा और समझा, एक बात बहुत ही ज़िम्मेदारी से आपसे कह सकते हैं कि ये किताब साइकोलॉजी के असातिज़ा, तलबा और क्लिनिकल साइकोलॉजी के फील्ड से जुड़े तमाम लोगों के लिए ये एक नायाब तोहफ़ा है। साथ में ये आम रीडर्स के लिए भी बहुत ही इंगेजिंग बुक है। In fact, anyone looking to understand the complexities of motherhood and support expecting mothers, this book is a valuable resource, and I expect you all to read this book. It's worth reading. Simple and fluent style of writing is another plus point of this book. हालांकि आजकल हम लोगों के बीच किताबें पढ़ने का रुझान कम होता जा रहा है, हम लोग किताबों से दूर हो गए हैं, हमारी रीडिंग हैबिट्स कम हो गई है, हम लोग सोशल मीडिया और मोबाइल में ज़्यादा मसरूफ़ रहने लगे हैं। लेकिन अच्छी किताबें पढ़ना चाहिए। किताबें हमारे जहन पे लगने वाले ज़ंग को साफ़ करती हैं, और आज हम लोग बहुत खुशकिस्मत हैं कि एक बेहतरीन किताब के रस्म इजरा में शामिल हुए हैं। और आई होप यू ऑल विल एंजॉय रीडिंग दिस बुक। इस किताब के पीछे नदीम साहब की कड़ी मेहनत शामिल है। एक बार फिर से मोहसिन साहब को दिली मुबारकबाद। और आखिर में एक लफ्ज़ उनकी शख्सियत के लिए, ही इज़ अ परफेक्शनिस्ट, यानी वो जो काम सोचते हैं, जिस काम को करने के लिए खड़े उठते हैं, जिस काम की शुरुआत करते हैं, उसको वो बखूबी अंजाम देते हैं। और ये किताब उनकी इसी खूबी का रिज़ल्ट है। उनका बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया कि उन्होंने इस फंक्शन में हमें बुलाया और कुछ कहने का मौका दिया। आप लोगों का शुक्रिया। खुदा हाफ़िज़।
Thank you so much, sir. Now, we present to you the next guest of honor. His name is Prakash Singh Kursela. He did his senior Cambridge from St. Xavier's High School, Patna, and his graduation and post-graduation from Hindu College, Delhi University. He remained at home in Kursela, Bihar, taking care of his mother, his wife Nalini, and his son Kirtiman. Kursela picked up farming after completing his studies, specializing in intensive agriculture and horticulture in his large farmland, spread over the entire Kursela estate in the district of Purnia in Bihar. He is also involved in social work with village children, teaching them basic English, reading and writing in open-air classrooms on the lines of Shanti Niketan in West Bengal. Being an avid reader and having an excellent command over English language, Prakash won the first prize in All India Inter-School Essay Competition. He continues writing poetry and prose and has published a book on wildlife, sports and conservation, etc. One of his books has been published by HarperCollins, a famous international publication house. And Prakash encourages aspiring artists and students in the performing arts in well-known cultural institutions and theoretical centers, including the Kala Bhavan in Purnia, where he represents his founder member's family. Unfortunately, he is unable to attend today's book launch due to unavoidable personal commitments. We wished him best of luck. Now, may I please invite our chief guest of the day, Mr. Syed E. Hasnain, to guide us with few words.
Professor Syed Hasnain. Let us give him a big round of applause.
Assalamu alaikum. Chief guest of today's function, Mr. Ajit Lal, former DGP, Himachal Pradesh. My good friend Ijaz Maqbool, Senior Advocate, Supreme Court. I've known him when he was a student activist, President of the Aligarh Muslim University Students' Union, and an excellent orator. No wonder he's done so well in law. Mr. Raza Elahi, Deputy News Editor, Economic Times, New Delhi. The author of the book, Dr. Nadeem Mohsin. Dignitaries of the stage, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to begin by thanking Dr. Mohsin for inviting me to preside over this function, this book release function. We have gathered here actually to release the book which we have already done, the book which is Psychology of Motherhood. A wonderful book, and I'll talk to you about the book a little later. I'll take you back to about a few thousand years. Aristotle, the ancient Greek philosopher and polymath in his writings, covers a broad range of subjects spanning from natural sciences, philosophy, linguistics, economics, etc., etc. Aristotle describes women as mathematikoteiron, which actually means they have a heightened capacity for rational learning. Remember, he thinks women have a heightened capacity for rational learning. He also describes women as frontisticotera, which means they are more thoughtful in child rearing, and further defines them as mnemonikoteron, which highlights their superior memory. Wonderful qualities described, attributed to women by the famous philosopher Aristotle. Conversely, he describes the men as heton epibula, which simply means less strategic. Aristotle does not limit women's intellectual strength to domestic spheres alone, and he feels both women and men can exhibit political discernment, especially concerning child upbringing. Friends, being a mother is a multifaceted experience characterized by deep love, unwavering support, and shaping of a child's life. It involves nurturing, guidance, and providing a safe and loving environment for a child's growth. While we all know that it's a challenging act, motherhood is also incredibly rewarding, filled with joy, personal growth, and the legacy of shaping future generations. Being a mother means putting your children's need before your own, loving them unconditionally, always building their self-esteem. Once again, according to Aristotle, the intellectual strengths in which women excel, notably their ability to strategize, learn, remember, and rear children, are linked to the virtues of prudence. He gave equal weight to women's happiness as he did to men's, commenting that a society cannot be happy unless women are happy too. A very important statement that he made a few thousand years ago. And I repeat, a society cannot be happy unless women are happy too. But where are we today? Which world are we living today? What is the reality of the women today, 2,347 years after the death of Aristotle? Let's accept we are a male-dominated society. Despite the fact that women represents at least almost about 50% of the world's total population. Look at the number of women who are here today. Even here in this hall today, 50% participants are women. Globally, if you look at the actual numbers, as per 2023 census, the global female population was estimated at approximately 4.01 billion. According to the Global Gender Gap Report 2020, 88% of females worldwide had primary education. 88% of females had primary education, compared to 91% by males. We discriminated the females. Today, this is 2020. Things have improved today. By comparison, more females than males had attained tertiary education. More females than males, tertiary education. Yet, only 24 women received the Nobel Prize out of the total of 1,012 prizes awarded until 2024. So not even 1% of the Nobel Prizes went to the women. Despite the fact that they had done very well, leave aside recognition, even when it comes to job, political achievements, and wealth, women are far, far behind. Let me give you one more statistics. Since 2000, employment to population ratio worldwide was constantly significantly higher among men than among women. Whereas more than two-thirds of men were estimated to be employed worldwide in 2025, less than half of the women were employed. In India, as per the latest PLFS report, around 32.8% female of working age, 15 years and above, were in active labor force in 2021-22, which was just 23.3% in 2017-18. Some improvement, but long way to go. We are indeed a shamelessly male-dominated society. Very true. So what is it that we men think that we are better than females? Better than women? Genetically, if you look at it, male and female are identical, except that males have an extra chromosome known as the Y chromosome. Females don't have that Y chromosome. They have 2 copies of the X chromosome. So we thought, we have an extra Y chromosome, so that is what makes us superior. But when you actually look at what is there in the Y chromosome, what are chromosomes? Chromosomes are structures in the cell which contain the DNA that makes us what we are. So when people looked at the Y chromosome, which is present only in males, to find out that is what explains why males are superior according to them, and that then came a surprise shock. The scientific truth is that while the X chromosome has about 900 protein coding genes, the Y chromosome has just about 100%, just about 10% of the coding. So much lesser genes are present in the Y chromosome. So Y chromosome has now been called as a gene desert, whereas women have 2 copies of the gene-rich X chromosome. You know, we live in a society which has grown up with a notion that mother is a fact, right? She is my mother because somebody saw her delivering me, either a midwife or a hospital nurse or a surgeon. Father is a belief. My mother told me that he is my father, so I have to believe it. No proof for that. My mother told me, so I believe it. Even this notion is now contested today. How? When I was working at the CDFD as a director, one case came to us, very interesting. 2 women came forward to claim that this child is actually my child. And both were talking to them, you will believe that maybe they both are true. Finally, we did DNA testing to confirm that, look, this child belongs to this lady and not to you. Even then, she was not willing to accept that. But today we know that it is theoretically possible, and it is indeed possible to have 2 women contribute to the birth of a single child. So where is this notion of Aristotle that mothers are fonder than fathers of the children because they are more certain they are their own? This notion of Aristotle may not stand the test of scientific scrutiny in today's technical complexities that we have. Dr. Nadeem Mohsin, in this book, Psychology of Motherhood, a case study of 6 enlightened mothers from different parts of the globe. It's an excellent attempt to take readers through the journey of motherhood based on rare personal interactions with 6 mothers coming from different parts of the world. The author has psychology in his blood. I know him very close. Perhaps I know him among all the people seated on the dais better than any one of us here. I can't say about other people in the audience. The author has psychology in his blood, born to a father who was perhaps the best psychologist in this part of the world, Professor S.M. Mohsin. Yet, Professor Nadeem Mohsin decided to do his PhD in economics. Starting as a child with hobbies of top spinning and kite flying, he covered a long and distinguished journey before taking a U-turn to become a clinical psychologist, which he sealed by receiving a formal master's degree. So he is today a formal, qualified, trained clinical psychologist. In this long hiatus, he served as consultant to top agencies, a very rare honor indeed, such as the UNESCO, UNICEF, USAID, JICA, ILO, and many other government and non-government organizations. He was also the principal investigator of the National Child Abuse Study, the largest study of its kind in the world, some very rare honor. And this was sponsored by the UNICEF, Save the Children, and the Minister of Women and Child Development, Government of India. His real-life experiences, often daring, gained while visiting the most thrilling and perhaps dangerous locations in the upper reaches of Ladakh and Kargil, and carrying out projects based on prestigious assignments in different countries of the world. This helped him polish his skills, which are amply reflected in the book, that was just launched. This is not the only book he has done so far. He has done more than half a dozen plus books. He is the author of books such as The Lost Innocence, a perspective on child labor. Another one is From Darkness to Dawn, an experiment with people's education. The third one is Lull After the Storm. You all heard a lull before the storm. This is lull after the storm. Dr. Mohsin is a very versatile, very, I must say, fantastic command on English and skills of writing. In this book, he has very succinctly and successfully described and analyzed the lifestyle, behavior, attitude, honesty, simplicity, sincerity, and humility, features that very comprehensively describe successful mothers across geographical, social, biological, and genomic boundaries. This book is an attempt to describe how 6 remarkable women from around the world redefine success through compassion, resilience, and purpose. Dr. Mohsin has successfully identified what are the key features that have enabled these empowered mothers to mentor marginalized women across the emotional and social depths. Not an easy job. He has picked up those mothers who had to live under very difficult situations, something that we find a mosaic even in India, the way India is. But he did this across the emotional and social depths by blending personal narrative and insight, which only a person of the depth of Dr. Nadeem Mohsin can do. This scholarly work uncovered universal truths about nurturing, strength, and the unseen power of motherhood. It offers invaluable lessons for psychologists, policymakers, and social workers. Friends, it's really a tribute and a resource material. The book is just outstanding and will be a great asset and a source of inspiration, not only to clinical psychologists, but also policymakers, government, and social activists. More so in the context of recent phenomena the world is witnessing. And that is, girls are delaying motherhood and quite often not even wanting to be a mother. A must-read for fathers too who want to question Aristotle. Thank you once again for inviting me to be here. Thank you for being here.